broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist. With over 30 years of technology expertise, our co-host Mike Roday is in studio, and he's the award-winning author and our human behavior expert and not the biggest fan of AI, as you'll find out during the show. Now we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We're friends from different backgrounds, and we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the top 10 technologies that vanished in 2024. I have a list of these, so they may surprise you. While others may be of interest to you, some you might actually miss. We have deep space exploration, but guess what? There's a piece of technology we need to perfect how we explore space. And just when you think technology can't get more intense, there's Meta's bold decision to end fact-checking as Silicon Valley braces for a shift. Plus, we explore NVIDIA's true identity. Are they just a company for technology, or are they now the new leaders of AI? In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, and a possible Nathan Nugget. Absolutely. I hope we get to that today. It should be pretty engaging. And of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting, to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. So if you watched last week's show, we had 4 special whiskeys that we did. The very first episode in each month, we have kind of this battle of whiskeys that are going on. We're back to our standard tradition today of just 1 shot of whiskey. So hopefully our hosts and so-hosts will be able to keep our speech in line instead of slurring at the end of the show. Last show's edits were pretty interesting. You should have seen me. I was a little tipsy. But let's now move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move on to our latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Story number 1. NVIDIA is a technology company, or is it an AI company? Let's go to Corinne Westland for more on the story.
Jensen Huang says NVIDIA is a technology company, but it's really an AI company. Huang opened up CES 2025 in Las Vegas with a keynote that packed the Michelob Ultra Arena in the Mandalay Bay Casino. There was certainly a huge portion of gamers who'd come to see the latest RTX 50 series cards in the flesh, but more were there to see how a company as lucrative as NVIDIA moves forward. RTX and Project Digits drew hollers and shouts from the crowd. Is NVIDIA going to be able to keep the momentum as the cool processor company everyone wants to use? Only time will tell. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, so let's talk about this. So NVIDIA, they are the hot company or the most talked about company for CES. And we're going to have our CES Best of the Best show next week. We're also going to have, with that, of course, our worst of the worst, so our crazy ideas and the best ideas. Mostly all of next week will be CES. But let's talk about NVIDIA. They did the keynote speech here. NVIDIA is now saying that they're moving on to not only do graphic processors, but to do processors that will be working in some of the largest companies' AI factories for AI. It's really interesting that NVIDIA has a real different approach on how they're taking themselves now, kind of becoming the chip leader in the United States. And what they do is they're going to focus on their customers. Jensen Huang says that we are going to respond to our customers wherever they are and with whatever they need.
What's that going to be like?
So what he's trying to do is, instead of some of these companies, these processor companies, like if I needed help with an Intel processor, do you think if I call Intel or go to Intel.com, do you think I get any support from them, or AMD? No, I get no support. They tell me to go back to whoever I bought their processor from, work with them to get a refund or work with them on an issue, but they're not going to do anything. NVIDIA is saying that we're actually going to do that. So we're going to actually spend the time and effort to talk to each of our individuals that are using us. They actually opened up a whole bunch of open source information. They have some of the best AI scalers to upscale in games. So if you have a game that you have, you can actually use NVIDIA's DLSS, which has been around for 6 years, to put a game's graphics in there, and it will actually go through and analyze it and increase the graphics pre-done for your games that are taken care of. All open source. You don't have to pay somebody to do additional work. But NVIDIA now is saying that they're not going to just be in PC gamers high-end cards, that they're going to move into the processing component powers, which we talked about this a little bit. Supercomputers were supposed to be taking over the world now, but supercomputers are still based on ones and zeros, whereas NVIDIA's chipset is not based on ones and zeros. It's based on if and then statements. So they have a whole different processing.
That's like basic.
Well, like if then. So if this happens, then this. If this happens,
like,
then
remember basic?
Yeah, and the co-processors for your supercomputers are all based on like the Intel models, which are ones and zeros that it has to process and break down. So NVIDIA's messaging that they said is that we are going to make tools for researchers, scientists, and students, that they're going to be able to use our tools for anybody that stumbles across this, that either receives $3,000 an hour for their service or $1.50 and is living on instant ramen. All of those are their customers.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that, because have you ever watched a Discord stream?
I have, yeah, some.
What are PC gamers doing like 80 to 99.9% of the time in a Discord?
Well, they're always complaining.
They're whining about something.
Yeah, they're
working.
always their computer isn't. So what I find interesting is they don't have a lack of skill. It's always their computer that has the lack of skill.
Yeah.
When you get older, guess what? I just find out I just am not quick anymore with my reflexes. So I play games all the time. This Tetris battle that I do.
No
with a bunch of
way.
people. I'm not quick.
Are you admitting?
Yes. Yeah. It's not my computer. The computer's great. It's the old guy that's trying to move the arrow keys.
So you don't get
down
on Discord and just whine at everybody, and
I do not,
and then get really nasty reply comments.
I do not. I'll tell you this. I think NVIDIA in the next 5 to 6 years, they are going to be the company that sets how AI works. I do, because they're going to be the processors that everybody's are using for AI, and I think they're going to have some control on that.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Let's go to story number 2, Mike. What do you have for story number 2? This sounds exciting.
Well,
I'm excited.
I guess the question is if you want to explore deep space, what is one thing you'll need
to have?
Yeah.
So I until we talked about this article, I had no idea.
So
I didn't think this would be an issue.
Yeah, but you would think, you would think, well, I need a cool spaceship. I need to have some
hydrogen for the engines. I think
maybe hydrogen. I don't know,
or
whatever. I guess you're flying blimps in this space.
Okay, well,
okay. In order for us to explore deep space, people don't think about this, but we're going to need better clocks.
Better clocks.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Well, let's harken back to the early days of exploration in 1714. The Crown of England ran a contest in search of a more accurate clock that sailors could use to navigate while at sea. Today, scientists are facing a similar problem for outer space. Every single day, we rely on hundreds of hidden clocks.
Okay.
GPS location, internet stability, stock trading, power grid management, all rely on atomic clocks in order to work. Many of those clocks are in orbit, which are perched on satellites orbiting Earth. Over time, temperature swings, power supply, and the speed at which the clock is moving can set these clocks very slightly out of sync.
Okay.
This phenomenon is called clock drift.
Clock drift. Okay.
To control for it, GPS clocks are set to check the time and correct themselves regularly, but in outer space, critical functions like communications and navigation require even greater clock accuracy, down to a billionth of a second or more. That's why atomic physicists at NASA want to build a more precise, more autonomous atomic clock.
Okay.
The team hopes a prototype will be ready late this year to keep a more accurate time. So maybe NASA will change the way we
look at clocks.
We measure our day.
So going back,
I'm gonna get up at 8 a.m. in a billionth of 2 seconds.
Okay, so like in Star Trek or Trek, however you want to
start. Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk about Star Trek.
Okay, so they always use like star dates, right? So did they come up with? So it sounds like they came up with a way to do time. Star date 5, 2, 3 C's. So I'm just kind of curious.
It never fails that you will take this thing and relate it to a fictional show.
Well, hang on now. We got LEDs that look just like they did on the Next Generation.
The Stardate is not based on an Earth-centric thing. It's based on a standardized like galactic format, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that.
Because right now our clocks are based on the sun, right? Which is just specifically to our world that circles around the sun.
Well, yes, that's where it starts. Okay. It starts with that 12-hour cycle of day to night to day to night. But
so Tatooine isn't on our
okay, here we got the Star Wars reference.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Okay.
But no, I mean, we don't think about it, but time is very important especially in space travel, because the faster we go, the more time dilation occurs, right? So when we start going out in the outer space, if you go out in the outer space and you're on this really fast ship to go to the moon or back and go to the sun or back and go to the outskirts you could come back and everybody here is dead. That you knew.
Because it could be just hours
because
days
with you, you've only aged days or it's like in
Interstellar.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, everything comes back to movies. All right, let's go. Story number 3. Meta says it will end fact-checking as Silicon Valley prepares for Trump. All right, so this is Meta says it's now going to end fact-checking. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced last week that the social media company, which owns Facebook and Instagram, would stop working with third-party fact-checking organizations. Repeatedly taking points long used by President-elect Donald Trump and his allies, in a video, Zuckerberg said the company's content moderation approach resulted too often in censorship. Zuckerberg said his view on content moderations have changed. He's getting older, I guess. Meta has made too many mistakes in how it applied its content policies, he said, and pointed Trump's election to a second term as a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So now we're going to go back to our roots, he said, focusing on reducing mistakes, simplifying our process, and restoring free expression on our platforms. Zuckerberg is among the tech titans who have traveled to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump since the election. And Meta donated $1 million to his inauguration fund, including Amazon, Apple, and OpenAI. Meta clearly perceives a great deal of political risk of being targeted. And Zuckerberg presented the announcement and timing of this to play into the Republican audience. Now, this is also interesting.
I have a feeling this has to do more about like things like Blue Sky coming into the frame and
so let's
ask people away from these.
So guess what? They had an additional 1.3 million users sign up after Facebook made this announcement. They are now the third largest social media platform out there, with no advertising other than people saying they're not going to do this, they're not going to do this. And Blue Sky says that they will continue to use third-party fact checkers.
Yeah, well,
So Zuckerberg and Elon Musk
choking.
Are both going to use the same exact AI technology on each of their platforms. So it'll be unified in how they distinguish between fact and fiction.
Yeah, whatever.
Does that make you feel safe?
No.
Well,
I think they're choking and they're trying to figure out how to not choke anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's just going to turn into a
Wild West.
An S show.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to save Odie from the dump button there.
No.
Okay.
Today I'll save her from the dump button.
Okay. All right. I think you have our last story. What do we have coming up here at the very end?
Yeah, you gave me another AI story.
Oh, you love AI, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. What do we got going
my
on?
favorite thing in the whole world.
Okay.
Grok,
Yeah.
the AI assistant for X, which is baked into X, is now available as a standalone app. So
You can now use it just like you could
now use it like,
ChatGPT.
you can chat GPT it.
I used this last night.
Yeah,
This is not a good. This is not okay.
Hey,
keep on going.
whoa,
keep on
whoa,
going.
whoa,
Oh, whoa,
hey,
whoa.
how
Sorry.
is it
Okay.
that you're talking
Spoiler.
smack about it?
Sorry. Spoiler. Here we go. Keep on going.
Like the version that exists as a tab in a social media platform, the Grok app can be used to generate images, summarize text, and answer questions. This time with a controversial tone the AI assistant's creator calls humorous and engaging.
Mm-hmm.
The app was first tested with a limited set of users in December. Just last year, right around the same time, X debuted a free tier of Grok that's available to everyone. Prior to that, you needed to pay at least $8 a month for X Premium to have the privilege of using the AI. The limitations of that free access is 10 requests every 2 hours, 3 images analysis requests per day may also apply to the Grok app. You can use the app without signing in or sign in with an Apple account, X account, Google account, or a plain old email. It's not clear whether an X Premium subscription gets you added benefits in the Grok app in the same way it does X. Grok has struggled with similar issues around accuracy and bizarre image generation choices as other AI assistants like Gemini and ChatGPT. The chatbot mainly stands out from its competitors because XAI pitched it as being able to answer spicy questions other AI assistants avoid. And the version of Grok AI model is open source. You'll have to see for yourself how spicy the Grok app ultimately is, but at least you don't have to go to X to use it now.
Okay.
So,
wow.
See, part of this.
So this app has no. They have no guardrails at all on this.
No kidding.
I was putting stuff in
Look
there
who we're
that is
talking
not that is not PG-13 on the radio type of deal, and it was coming out with the items, and then suggestion even of more spicier ideas to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So there you go.
What kind of expectations do we have for somebody who has ripped and torn and doing the same thing? I guess Zuckerberg is thinking about doing.
So I
now.
guess now we're gonna have like this AI app that has like some guardrails, which will probably be OpenAI, which is funny because I would not have thought that they would be the ones with guardrails. And then you're going to have all these other apps that kind of suck. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take off the limits to, again, we kind of talked about this, to increase their audience share.
This is that really interesting argument about what constitutes free speech.
Yeah.
And what doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Right.
I hate it. I think they're all
okay. Wow. All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on. Gwen Way is up with our gadgets and gear segment with a product that is part Optimus Prime and part relaxation. What is it? Gwen will share this on our next segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes, and of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is back, and he has the first month tradition gone to come back to do what we are doing standard-wise for our
really
taste
stuck
todays.
on that,
I was. Well, we were just trying to re-add to the next February you want to join us for. Didn't you like last week's? I mean, that was a lot of alcohol, right?
I was fine.
Okay, there you go.
Apparently, you drink more than I. Well,
I did
drink more than
I did drink a lot. All right, with our first whiskey tasting complete, let's move on to our feature. Whoa. Mark, what are we tasting?
We're drinking today Sagamore Spirits Double Oak Rye Whiskey. Now, from Sagamore Spirits website, what they say is after aging their straight rye whiskey for 4 to 5 years in high char new American oak barrels, the distillers transfer the aged whiskeys into toasted wave stave barrels for an additional 18 months. This increased surface area of the low char medium plus toast staves imparts Double Oak's delightful caramel, toffee, hazelnut, and toasted coconut. Classic Maryland-style rye whiskey is reimagined through the innovative aging process and then proof with limestone filtered water from their spring house built in 1909.
Ooh.
The final spirit is a shining example of old meeting new. So on the palate, they say you get smooth caramel, rich toasted coconut, nutty flavor of hazelnut, and pecan.
Pecan.
Melded perfectly with vanilla and caramel.
All right.
Tomato.
Tomato. All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Well, I already moved. What do you? Is this on your shelf at home?
Oh, I can't answer that today.
Until later.
Why are you asking questions like that?
Well, I'm just kind of curious. Okay. All right. Well. Okay.
Now this is from Sorona Holding, who owns Sagamore Spirits. It's
Okay.
distilled in Indiana, which means it's MGP juice, but it's aged at Sagamore Spirits at their place in Maryland.
Okay.
It's a straight rye, 4 to 5 years. It is 96.6 proof. It's a blend of high and low rye mash bills. And its price is $64.
Okay. So it's a standard price. Is it anything under 70 is kind of like standard price, right? 70 to 50, is that standard?
That sounds more like the Nathan line of cheapness.
Well, so hang on. So I have 75 to like 50 is kind of like the Nathan Premier. And then you got the 50 to like 35, that's like the mid level. And then you got the 35 under, which is the Nathan cheap
which
level.
is the Nathan.
That's the one I
the
share with
Nathan
my
liquor
guests that come
box.
on over. I give you the no.
Average price of whiskey for a person, it depends what a person can afford and what they like. So,
Okay.
just like the best whiskey is the whiskey that's currently in your glass.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well,
Now, don't forget to like and subscribe out there. In addition, please comment. Let us know if there's a whiskey you want us to review.
What's new in our gadgets?
Oh, wow. Odie's getting
All right, I'm done.
No.
I think you
Heaven
just,
finger weight, so drink responsibly. Bye. Thank you, Gwen.
you just got the equivalent of a finger wave.
Yeah. Odie was like, let's move on. All right. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today, we have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evening, as well as our producer of TechTime Radio. But of course, we know her as our Gadgets and Gear gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream for our next segment, Gadgets and Gear.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right. Gwen, welcome back to the show. Now, for all
Good to be here.
all the new listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Certainly. I am a person who spent the last quarter of a century. I'm just leaning into it now.
Yep.
Working in technology. Right now, my focus is in cybersecurity.
Okay. Cybersecurity. And you just got your company you worked for just got acquired. Is that correct?
Yep, we had a big merger. There's a big announcements. So if anybody is so inclined, go take a look at what WatchGuard has been up to for the last week.
All right. So that's what she's saying. She's now working for WatchGuard. That's good. You know what? I think WatchGuard is a company. We use them. We use their firewalls pretty extensively, and I like their products. So I would trust their cybersecurity much better than FireEye or any of those other ones out there that say that they're great and they're not. So there you go. A little plug for your company there. All right, Gwen. But let's talk a little bit about this gadget of gear. Now, let me just tell you, up front, I have ordered already one of these chairs, and I'm on the fence between the second chair. So tell us what this is, what's cool about this, because this really got me excited and to the point where I probably did way more research than I have in any gadgets and gear segment in the last couple of years.
I mean, this is a great one. This is one that everybody, no matter how geeky or how non-geeky you are, can enjoy. The name of the product is the Neutral, spelled Newtral, Freedom X multi-position chair.
Okay.
I love that you talked about the Transformers earlier because this chair genuinely transforms and you're able to sit in it multiple different ways. Don't know about the listeners, but as a kid, I used to sit backwards in my chair all the time and kind of lean forward and read a book.
Yeah.
Well, this chair lets you do that with your laptop. So that's a good thing.
All right. So this is available on Kickstarter, right?
Correct.
So what is the name of this again so that everybody can get this on the radio?
It's Neutral, spelled Newtral, Freedom X multi-position chair. It's actually from a company that has been around for quite a while. They do fairly standard gaming chairs as well, but this is a new offering that they're throwing up on Kickstarter.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about what makes this chair special besides kind of what you told about backwards. What else makes this chair special? How much is this unit, and are there more than one type of chair for this?
Certainly. So the thing that makes this the most special is that you can actually change how your chair functions and how you sit in it. Rather than the normal arms that just lift up, these will actually fall out so that you can sit cross-legged in the chair. If you've got a dog or a cat who just really wants to be glued to your side, you can push one arm down and they can actually sit in that. Or you can kind of lounge on it if you want. It's all kinds of positions, and I have a feeling that if you get this chair, you can find the one that's right for you.
So there were, I absolutely. So the side part. So I'm a weird guy because I actually like sleep sitting up.
Yes, you are.
So I sleep sitting up. So I'm looking at this like this could be like multifunction. This could be like your bed. This could be like your lounging chair. I was looking at this being like, this is so awesome. There's like deals on the side. And my big concern is I'm a little bit of a heavier guy. And so I checked it out. And I know that when we were talking about this for the show, I was worried that if I started opening up in these transformer arms on the left and right and made this kind of into the couch format, that I would break it. So what is the weight requirements that they have for a chair like this?
They have tested this chair up to 330 pounds.
Okay. So 300 plus pounds.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Yeah, so you're good.
I'm good. I'm right on that. I'm right on that. Right on the cusp.
You can't just fold it out, and we can't sit together, though.
Well,
Exactly.
well,
Only one at a time for right now.
But if I buy two of them, so tell us what type of. There's two different type of selections here, Gwen. What are the two different options that you get on the Transformer chair?
So your two options are a vegan leather, so pleather, and a stain-resistant fabric. Right now, there's still some super early bird of the vegan leather available.
How much are those going for?
You can get those for $199, which is phenomenal.
That's a steal of a deal. Most gaming chairs are like $300, the decent ones.
Exactly. Unfortunately, all the super early birds for the fabric are done. But
I got one.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well done. Because, at this point, with the actual fabric chair, you would end up paying $259, which is still a steal.
Still a good price. Still a good price. I got in just lucky enough last night.
In time.
So I was ready to go before they changed it on over. All right. So now, where's this company located? Because that's always a question, right? They are, what I'm really happy about is this is like a legit company. Where are they located at? And tell us a little bit more about the company backing this.
They are located out of Massachusetts Gore, Maine.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, Neutral has been on the net selling chairs for quite some time. You can actually go to their website and order some of their older chairs, which are just kind of the standard gaming chairs.
Okay.
You can also order a couple of other things like a desk that you can lock onto the gaming chair's arm so that you can work on your laptop pretty much wherever you can roll the chair.
Okay. So. All right. Now the biggest question. I said I got one. I was so excited about this.
I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
Well, did you get one yet, Mike?
No.
You need to get the pleather one. But I never knew.
Nice.
What does
No,
that mean?
the vegan leather.
Why do
That's
I
a
need
nice way.
Why do I need to get the pleather one?
Well, because you need to have this is the chair.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
I need an executive fat boy chair. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say, wow, I didn't say that. I just said that you need to make sure you get a chair here. So, Gwen, did you get one? That's the question.
No, I did not get one. I got 2.
Oh, did you get 2 of the fabrics?
Yep.
Oh, maybe you were the
One
last
for
person.
each of us.
There you go.
That's possible. It's either you or me, Nathan.
There you go. We got the last of
those
that.
up.
There you go. Well,
I see how
I
you guys roll. You take the last of them and then you talk about it on the radio after.
well, then that way more people then finance it so that we make it even better.
Yeah,
That's
Nathan is the reason Kickstarter is still going.
right. I did.
Because he buys everything.
So I did. You remember the Lou LOOI that you had about? I just got mine in the mail, so
wonderful.
I'm excited to open this up. I have not opened this up.
Is that one where you finally get a friend?
No, I have.
Yep.
That's the little desktop one that runs around.
Yeah, that's the
on
little
your desk
desktop that goes back and
smiles at
forth,
you
and then it
stuff.
smiles, and it
Yeah,
it gives you a
It's a
mini.
little friend.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I have the Luma. L seems to be the name for robots. So I got the Luma in my office here too. So I enjoy.
Do you do anything with it, or do
Yeah.
you just sit on this charging station looking sad?
No. I walk around with it and I shake hands, and then it does like fireworks, and he'll follow me around, and then I'll ignore it for a while, and then I kick it in the head, and then it starts yelping at me, and just like every other pet I have. No, just joking. Never mind. No, that's what gave me trouble. All right, go ahead.
Do you dress? Do you put little clothes?
I
and
do.
dress for the-
I do.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to get any deeper in the secret life of Nathan, but thanks.
All right, Gwen. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I can't wait to see what you have now. Next week's show, you're going to have to tune into because we got CES, and there is so much gadget stuff there that we're going to be talking about. There are some crazy things. They got like animated robots that sit in your purse. They have this that we're going to be talking about on the best of the best and the weirdest. So we're going to do the best of the best first and then the weirdest. I kind of think the weirdest is actually more intriguing now that I'm getting into. So you're going to definitely want to make sure you turn into that.
I will be here.
Tell everybody where they can learn more information about you if they wanted to connect with you and talk with you directly.
Certainly. The easiest and quickest way to connect with me is to hop on to either Facebook and join the Tech Timers Facebook group,
There you go.
or just go to techtimeradio.com.
There you go. That works out perfectly.
That's the best place.
That's the best place.
Yeah.
I agree too.
It really is.
Gwen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you with your new gadgets.
Bye, Gwen.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right. We want to thank Gwen for being a part of the show. And I can't wait forward to next month's gadget. But that ends our gadgets and gear segment. Up next, we have, of course, Mike's mesmerizing moment. Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today? All right, Mr. Gordy. This speaking about clocks in your segment that you did earlier, this has me really thinking. Why are clocks and ticking noises of clocks considered soothing to people?
What? What do you mean soothing?
Well, it's known that clocks are used to help relax people. The metronome sound of the tick tock helps relax people. So I'm just why is clocks considered soothing to people?
Well, I think it depends on the type of clock.
Okay.
Because if you're talking about like the 60-minute stopwatch, it's like tick, 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 tick. That's usually associated more with anxiety and stuff like that. But if you're talking about the swinging arm of the old grandfather clock that probably not too many people know about these days, that can be considered soothing because there's a phenomenon that happens where it's called entrainment.
Okay.
Where our brain waves synchronize with the metronomic sound of the ticks. So if it's a slow ticking clock, like a swing arm clock, it could slow your brain waves down so that you're actually calmer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking about the digital clock, right?
But
so like our digital clock up there, that's not going to
clocks in America are mostly associated with anxiety nowadays.
Are they really?
Yeah. I mean, we're very time oriented, and everything has to be fast, and everything you have to be on time, and you're always rushing, and there's always like this fight against the clock. So clocks in general are associated more with anxiety
Than soothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right, Mike. Thanks for that mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we're going to be doing so during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio. Yeah. You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
media.
media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to January 17th, 1984. The Supreme Court ruling on home VCR recordings comes out. The U.S. Supreme Court. What is Gregor doing over the corner?
He's like trying to get out of the picture.
Is he trying to be out of the screen? He's leaning up against the wall.
Yeah, right. He's experiencing some studio wall foam.
Okay, all right. The U.S. Supreme Court rules 5-4 that private use home VCRs to tape TV programs for later viewing does not violate federal copyright laws. This ruling opens the floodgate for VCR sales, changing the landscape of TV watching forever. Now, we wouldn't have digital video recorders. The DVR system would not be in place if this ruling would have happened, right? Because the idea of a digital video recording device is that you record something to watch it later. Now, in the ruling, making individual copies of complete television shows for purpose of time shifting, which means you'd watch it later, does not constitute copyright infringement, but can instead be defended as fair use. The court also ruled that the manufacturers of home video recording device, such as at the time Betamax and other VCRs referred to as VTRs in the case, cannot be liable for contributing to this infringement. The case was a boon to the home video market. It created a legal safe harbor for this technology to record.
Yeah, except with the FBI warning
that you had to have all the time.
$50,000 fine.
Well, I just remember, so my early marriage, my poor wife, was we would have to tape Star Trek The Next Generation. And every once in a while, you would have that power outage that would go on. And then all of a sudden, your VCR was no longer programmed because these were not easy recording machines. And I remember every once in a while coming on home and we would not have gotten that episode. And you couldn't just stream. You couldn't find it online. You'd have to wait for a whole...
Today's technology is awesome.
I know. You'd have to wait for the whole rerun of that episode and then record everything until that rerun came back up to get that.
The days before the internet were brutal.
I know.
I don't know how we survived. Oh, my gosh.
That's right.
Horrible.
That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 220 plus weekly broadcasts spanning now on your 6 of video podcast and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mobile Whiskey Review. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
Right. You got to admit, that is a cool intro. You got
Mark, I love it. I love it. I sing every time.
Yeah, there you go.
He's all relaxed now because he was hugging the wall.
He was listening to his clock.
Mark doesn't deal with clocks. He deals with foam.
Wow.
He cuddles foam.
All right. So just because you went and looked at the Grok AI type of deal,
I didn't look at it.
Right.
You were the one that spent how long?
Never mind. Okay.
Playing with
Tell us about our whiskey here, Mark.
How about January 14th? We've been dropping hints throughout the show today about what today is.
Okay.
We
we
have?
have?
Gwen dropped a little bit, and I continued it.
What was that?
Why is that little doggy barking on the phone?
What was that? Was that a dog barking?
It was.
Oh, it was. What was that dog for?
It is
is
National Meme Day.
National Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Oh my God.
Oh, so my robots are
Yeah.
just in. You know what? I'm going to take my buddy robot right here, Pet, and I'm going to dress it up.
There you go. Celebrate today by dressing up your furry family member in comfortable pet clothing. Maybe even get matching outfits.
Oh,
I come from a very Southern background where dressing means a whole different thing.
okay. All right. Does it mean like food? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
To have food
the
with your dog?
apple in the mouth kind of thing.
All right.
Now, who's the devil? I mean, angel responsible for this holiday?
Okay.
National Dress Up Your Pet Day was started in 2009 by celebrity pets lifestyle expert and animal behaviorist Colleen Page.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I don't have a clue who Calling Page is, but okay. Thank you very much.
She was
Giving
one
you
of
the
those
history.
dog whisperer
Or dog
people on
whisperer.
them shows.
Is it?
On them TV flicks.
Oh, Stevie, can I record it on my VCR?
Probably.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's talk about Maryland.
Okay.
Now, Maryland has a rich whiskey history, particularly as a hub for rye whiskey, known for its smoother and slightly sweet profile compared to the spicier style of Pennsylvania. Now, Prohibition devastated the industry, but in recent years, Maryland has experienced a revival with craft distilleries such as Sagamore Spirit, reintroducing Maryland-style rye and experimenting with new blends. Now, this resurgence, supported by modern legislation, has positioned Maryland as a key player in the craft whiskey movement, blending tradition and innovation.
All right.
Now, I really enjoy Sagamore Spirit Ryes. I love the cast strength and their single barrels. For this double oak, it's like dressing up your pet. Unnecessary and takes away from the natural charm.
Oh.
This whiskey is not for my palate. As soon as I leave here today, I'll be giving this bottle away. I am
Really?
not a fan of almost any double oak whiskey, as it often overpowers the original character with excessive woodiness, masking the balance and complexity of the spirit. Curious if anyone here even gives this a thumbs up.
So I'm kind of on the fence right now.
I like the second and third taste.
And
so
here's the
far.
proof for me. I didn't even pour myself any
Oh, you didn't
today.
even pour it. It's
Clean glass.
So it is kind of, it does have a different taste. And it doesn't have a big bite, which I mean, I don't like a big bite, but then it kind of sticks. The finish just doesn't go away either. It's like lingering and still lingering and still lingering from.
So this one, I'm not going to say this is, I'm not a thumbs down, thumbs up like you guys.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily give this a thumbs down, but it's not a thumbs up for me. It's a good whiskey if you like that type of flavor profile. Like this bottle's going to Whiskey Chris after it. He loves this bottle.
Well, that's too bad because I kind of like it too.
There you go.
Well, it is, you can go buy it at the store for $64.
$64. There you go. Well, whiskey and technology are great pairings, just like headlights and windshield wipers. Both needed and required for a vehicle. And if one is not working, it is illegal. Just like our next segment.
I was hoping you're going to use seatbelt.
All right.
No. He has
let's
like
let's
reaches.
prepare for our technology fail of the week.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Well, this kind of goes back to some old 80s comedy flicks when we kind of think about this. We're going to be talking about a failure that comes to us from a software company that most of the public school districts use. Now, Power School Hack exposed students, teachers' data from K through 12 districts, making it easy to change an F into an A.
War games.
All right. Education software giant Power School has confirmed it has suffered a cybersecurity incident. We call those hacks, that allowed a threat actor to steal the personal information of students and teachers from the school districts that use Power School SIS platform, which is over 60 million students that use this. and over 180 customers worldwide.
This is 18,000.
Or 18,000, sorry. 18,000 customers worldwide. So this is in the 70% of all school districts use this software. All right, now PowerSchool is a cloud-based software solution provider for the K through 12 school districts. It uses its platform to help with enrollment, communication, attendance, staff management, learning systems, analytics, finance, and of course, to help keep those grades on track. Now, in this is a cybersecurity incident notification sent to customers Tuesday afternoon. PowerSchool says they first became aware of the breach on December 28th, 2024, after the PowerSchool SIS customer information was stolen through its PowerSource customer platform. Now, PowerSchool SIS is a student, again, information to manage all the enrollment and items that run your everyday school. After the investigation of the incident, it was determined the threat actor gained access to the portal using compromised credentials and stole data using an export data manager customer support tool. So in this tool, they have an export data. The person got credentials from somebody, so they probably did a phishing attempt, which we talk about all the time to do that. Then got the login, logged in, and they just went into school after school after school and just started exporting the data. Should have been caught. That's something like that has to trigger in any software cloud system that you have, should have triggered an alert. By the time you do 2 or 3 exports, Microsoft is so good with this. If you start using their Office 365 suite and you start exporting email, you start deleting a bunch of email, you start doing anything kind of fishy, it will send alerts to the admin saying, hey, you got an issue going on. But now PowerSource contains that the maintenance access tool that allows the access for engineers wasn't really the issue, but it was the credentials. Using this tool, the attacker exported, again, all the information into a CSV file, which is like an Excel file, which was then stolen.
Now, did the company come out and say nothing important was taken?
Well, yeah, we're going to get there. PowerSchool has confirmed that the stolen data primarily contains content details such as name and addresses, so it's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about it. However, some districts said that it also included social security numbers, personal identifiable information, medical information, and of course the grades. So it depends on how much you use it. So I guess if you use it to its full extent, you're probably in more jeopardy than if you just use it as an ancillary product. In response to the incident, the company engaged with a third-party cybersecurity experts, including CloudStrike, which is not FireEye, so that's okay, to investigate and mitigate the incident. And an unusual transparent FAQ allowed accessible information to customers to know what was going on. PowerSchool, though, has confirmed that this is not what they considered a ransomware attack, which is true because they just stole the credentials. But they did pay a ransom to prevent the data from being released. When asked how much was paid to the threat actors, the comment, given the situation and sensitivity of the investigation, we are unable to provide information on certain specifics, quote, end quote. Well, the company said they received a video showing that the data was deleted. Oh my gosh. Okay, here you go. Do you know how simple it is to have 2 databases? You copy one to one machine and you videotape it, and then you copy one to a USB drive and you have it as another one. Pretty freaking simple. But they say that they have a video that shows all the data was deleted. There's never 100% guarantee that it was, but they believe all of this will no longer be available, and they are monitoring the dark web to determine if the data has been leaked in the future. All right, so what does no good? So as soon as that data comes back up on the dark web, what are you going to say? Unless they have an escrow, the only thing I could think of is they have an escrow over months that they pay out additional money that is released in an escrow fund on the dark web that based upon certain areas of you didn't have the data, you didn't have the data, which is probably what they negotiated. But still, that's just until certain things need to be taken care of.
Things run out.
PowerSchool says its operations remain unaffected and services continue as usual despite the breach.
So did they change their password?
I hope they did. I hope they did.
Wrote it on a piece of paper underneath a keyboard.
Password 123. All right. Well, we're going to go and head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we have the Nathan Nugget of the Week and, of course, our pick of the day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, welcome back to our Nugget. Now, 10 technologies that disappeared in 2024. Will you miss them? As the saying goes, nothing lasts forever. All right, so we're going to go through this list. You're going to tell me, everybody here around the table, if you're happy that we no longer have these services, or are you sad? Are you good riddance even that you didn't need these? We'll start with number 1, ICQ. The original messaging app. It was popular in the late 90s. Found memories of this before AOL Instant Messenger days, before any of the messenger services that are available. I had an ICQ number. It was essentially a name and a number that was associated with your ICQ. Are you sad that ICQ is gone?
I don't care.
You don't care. All right.
I thought they were gone before.
Okay. All right. Nodi, she doesn't even
She's
know
like, what the hell
what is
that?
ICQ? All right. AMD Link, used by streamers to send video from their graphic cards to their smartphones, being discontinued because there are other third-party options that are available. AMD Link, had no idea this even existed. Excited this is gone, or can care less?
I don't care.
You don't
Care less.
Care less. All right. Number 3, Twitch Watch Party, a feature that allowed you to watch Amazon Prime videos with your friends. Now that since we are post-pandemic lockdown, they are no longer doing any updates, and this will be removed.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care? I kind of care. This is kind of
I kind of.
I don't know why you're going to get rid of this feature if you already have it programmed in your software.
We struggle enough with connections and being in each other's live.
Yeah,
and that was a little benefit.
Yeah, it was a benefit.
I tried watching a movie on this when we were in the pandemic, and there was a time differential. So what I was viewing was a few minutes or seconds behind what they were viewing, and it was somebody who was talking a lot about the movie. So she basically was spoiling the show.
Oh, that was a great special effect, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah,
oh, there it is.
Man, okay, this sucks.
Okay,
yeah. Well, technology gets better, so that was the infancy. So
that's the idea, right?
Yeah,
it should.
All right, HoloLens. This is the Microsoft product. There's a lot of these Microsoft products. The AR headset we talked about, a big splash. It was the virtual reality set, way too expensive, way too niche product. Are you excited or could care less? HoloLens.
Nah, I don't care.
Don't care. All right, Paint 3D. Once promising to take over MS Paint into the third dimension. I wrote an article. We talked about this even, celebrating its arrival. It is now no longer available, and you still have just the standard MS Paint.
Darn it.
Are you sad about that?
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care?
I'm glad it's gone.
Okay, I'm glad it's gone.
It started opening up in 3D Paint, and so finally I put my default back to Paint. I like Paint better than the 3D.
Yeah, MS Paint. Just to leave it just real basic. If I need to use a real basic editor for some graphics, MS Paint works.
Is it because they tried to make you use it? That's the issue. See, they don't.
Well, no, because it had other features and it had other things, and you just wanted to do, like you said, just A, B, and C.
All right,
and 3D confused it.
All right, Android on Windows. Windows subsystem for Android enabled Windows 11 devices to run Android devices that are no longer there.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
This is how.
So the Microsoft's pretty good if they get rid of this stuff. If you guys don't care anymore. WordPad, the classic text editing app that sat between Notepad and Word, is no longer available. Does that make a difference for you guys?
Yeah, I care. This greatly saddens me, and I feel like I need to go home and take a bath with lavender candles.
Okay,
or some stuff
I'll
like
echo
that.
Mike that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. WordPad actually is a big classic app.
Yeah, but Notepad does a great job, and if you want some more feature, you get Notepad+++.
Okay, all right. Chromecast. After 100 million units sold, the TV streaming device is now discontinued.
No.
According to Google, smart TVs are now the norm, and Chromecast replacement is no longer needed to have your TV streaming experience. Sad or not sad?
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm sad because I got 8 of these devices. What do I do with these devices laying around the house?
You're going to pack them in a box like you do everything else that you own.
And then bring it out 20 years from now?
If anybody wants nostalgic stuff, they just need to come to your place and they can view. It's like a museum out there of ancient tech.
I'm working on a 386 computer because I have to reload Windows 98 right now.
I'm working on a 386.
All right. VPN by Google. This was the VPN service that we talked about. Nobody cares. This is where you can use a VPN for Google, but Google gets all the information that you get.
And nobody cares.
All right. DVD physical media products. The Apple USB SuperDrive. is no longer being produced. After 16 years of production, Apple's calling it quits on DVDs and CD drives.
How are you going to just skip over DVDs?
Well, DVDs are still being done. It's the USB Apple SuperDrive, DVD and physical media products, as with the USB SuperDrive.
I care about that
All
one
right.
a lot.
Okay,
I don't have an Apple product, so
I don't.
Okay.
I
I was gonna say, Mike, you and I are Windows guys.
all right. Well, I'm sure glad you guys didn't care about most of the stuff that went.
They're all
by
gone.
in
and forgotten.
2024.
Is that all 10?
That is all 10. All right, now let's move on to our pick of the day whiskey tasting.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
We are drinking Sagamore Spirits Double Rye Oak. It is distilled in Indiana, but aged in Maryland. It is a straight rye, 4 to 5 years, 96.6 proof, and $64.
I'm actually going to give it a thumbs down.
Why?
It's just not that great.
So I had predicted Nathan thumbs down because everything gets too woody and too tannic for him. He gives a thumbs down.
Yep.
Mike tends to like the oak bomb, so I'm thinking that's a thumbs up for Mike.
Okay.
Yep. Aside from the initial rye burn from the initial taste, it was good.
All right. Well, there you go. So you're getting pretty good at that prediction. And Chris will enjoy this. Is this up with Chris's?
He's looking forward to it.
All right. Okay. Well, you know what? We're really excited about being on the show today. We want to thank all of our listeners for joining the program. Listeners, you want to hear us? Check us out at techtimeradio.com. Click on the Be a Caller, Ask Us a Technology Question in our talkback system. You can always stay connected by going to our website and signing up for our social media groups, and you can talk to Gwen. You know, from all of us at Tech Time Radio, it was an honor to be on the show today with you. As remember, each and every day, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.